We present Kenneth Williams, Nicholas Parsons and Geraldine Jones in just a minute. And as the minute waltz fades away, here to tell you about it is this week's chairman, Clement Freud.
Thank you for that tumultuous reception. I'm here surrounded by buzzers and stopwatches and Nicholas Parsons. And I also have a list of unlikely subjects for the panel to talk about for 60 seconds each, without pausing, without going off the subject, and without repetition. In other words, keep going, stick to the point, don't repeat yourself. Kenneth Williams, will you talk for 1 minute on making an entrance, starting now?
Well, as the poet has it, all the world's a stage and all the men and women merely players. They have their exits and their entrances. And that is absolutely true. We come into this world naked. Indeed, we come into it quite naked. And after that, we've got to make entrances in a different way. We can't come in naked, obviously.
Nicholas Parsons.
Well, there was repetition of his nakedness.
Yes, that's...
And I would say that Kenneth...
Don't spoil it for yourself.
All right.
You have a point. You are making an entrance. You have 37 seconds starting now.
Well, I'm delighted to think that I have 37 seconds starting now in which to make a...
Kenneth Williams.
Deviation.
You're absolutely right, because I made a mistake. He had 47 seconds. It was deviation.
Oh!
Kenneth Williams.
Wait till I'm back on the channel chair again.
You have 39 seconds making an entrance starting now.
There are two kinds...
Nicholas Parsons.
Deviation, because you said 37 seconds before and you said 39 now. So if it was wrong for me, it is also deviation for Kenneth.
You're talking nonsense, Kenneth. No points awarded, but you have the subject back.
Thank you. Well, there's the entrance, of course, on the stage, and there's the entrance in private life, at a cocktail party or something like that. And I think all of us agree that when we do make an entrance, our initial...
Nicholas Parsons.
3 entrances, repetition.
Yes. Nicholas Parsons, you have 28 seconds making an entrance starting now.
Well, I'm delighted to think that this time I have 28...
Again and again.
Yes, he
Again.
keeps on about it.
I've only
He
been
keeps on being
delighted
delighted.
twice.
He's throbbing with it.
Geraldine Jones, you have a point.
Ridiculous.
Kenneth Williams, will you stop throbbing? Making an entrance, 25 seconds starting now.
When you're making an entrance, whether it's in a brick wall or at a gathering, you have to remember what materials you have. It's no use making an entrance in a stunning black dress if you're going to be going to a party where...
Nicholas Parsons.
Hesitation.
Hesitation is right.
Yes.
You have 13 seconds starting now.
I'm horrified to think that I have...
Kenneth Williams.
Deviation, whether it's horrified or not, is not the point. I mean, we discussed...
Nicholas Parsons, you have 3 seconds in which to justify.
I'm horrified to think you want me to speak for 13 seconds about making an entrance.
I think Kenneth Williams has a very good point indeed. And you have 8 seconds making an entrance starting now.
Making an entrance means that...
Nicholas Parsons.
Repetition, he's made so many entrances already.
Right.
Yes.
6 seconds making an entrance now.
I don't really wish to speak about this subject.
If he doesn't wish to speak about it, why start?
Under what general heading was that complaint? Under what general?
There's deviation.
Oh, yes. Yes, I'll give you a deviation.
May
You have the
I
subject.
justify myself, Sherman?
Not again.
May
3
I-
seconds starting now.
I once made an entrance as Nefertiti, and it was fabulous. They all went raving when I came in as Nefertiti, and actually, no, I had this crepe hat on me, and it was really fantastic.
Nicholas Parsons,
Well, he said entrance again. He's already said it about 7 times.
you have the subject for 1 second starting now.
I will speak about making an entrance.
It's disgraceful.
You reluctantly get a point because you were talking when the buzzer went. Nicholas Parsons has the next subject. Will you speak for 1 minute, please, on the Parsons nose? Starting now.
It is very curious that you should ask me to speak about Parsons' nose. I feel that probably I have a special reason for talking about this particular subject. Of course, many of you may not know that the derivation of this particular phrase arose from the Scottish MacNose clan. They, of course, deviated from the established Church of Scotland, and when they drifted south, being clerics, of course, they adopted the Parsons. They dropped the Mac and kept the nose. This is, of course, the derivation of Parsons' nose, as, of course, I know only too well.
Geraldine Jones.
Repetition.
Of what?
Of derivation. He explained this before he started.
Yes, that's true. He also said, of course, 5 times. Geraldine Jones, you have the Parsons nose? for 25 seconds, starting now.
It's very difficult for me to talk about this because, situated as we are, Nicholas Parsons is to the left of me and I can't really speak into the microphone at the same time as I look at his nose. Fortunately, it's made such a vivid impression upon my memory that I can talk about it without actually looking at it. It's perhaps not...
Nicholas Parsons.
Hesitation.
I'm afraid, yes. Hesitation. You have it back, your own nose, for 8 seconds.
Which came first, the curate or the egg? Now, of course, those of you who know the answer to this very simple riddle know that...
Geraldine Jones.
Deviation.
I couldn't agree more. Deviation. Parsons' nose, 2 seconds, starting now.
It's perhaps not a terribly memorable nose.
Geraldine gets an extra point because she was talking when the bell went for the minute. Geraldine, you have the next subject. Will you speak for 1 minute on the subject of trunks? Starting now.
Trunks are without doubt the most provocative and charming part of the clothes of any young male elephant. It doesn't really matter whether the trunk is pink or grey. It has that look about it that distinguishes elephants from all the other horrible big animals and makes you somehow think they're rather sweet and nice. Why is it that everyone likes elephants? It's because they have super trunks.
We've had 3 elephants and 4 trunks. Repetition.
And you have 1 trunk, and you have 40 seconds, starting now.
Some people have referred to Parsons' nose as a trunk. This, of course, is completely untrue. The trunks are really more, in the enlightened way of thinking about this, the trunks that you see on people when they are swimming. When you see someone go splash into the water and he comes out without his trunks, we all shout...
Geraldine Jones.
Lots of trunks.
Roughly the same number of trunks. You have a point. You have 21 seconds. Trunks starting now.
All the expression in an elephant's face is concentrated in his trunk. When he's happy, it waves up in the air. When he's sad, it sags listlessly downwards.
Kenneth Williams.
Hesitation.
It's a very minor hesitation. All right. You haven't spoken for a while.
Thank you.
11 seconds on trunks starting now.
Some people, and indeed I've seen them, they take as much as 24 pieces of luggage on a holiday. But the most important piece of luggage for a long holiday is, of course, your trunk. You've got to have a large, capacious trunk in which you can stuff every...
Nicholas Parsons.
Repetition of trunks.
You have 1 second to go on trunks starting now.
When it is...
Hesitation. Hesitation. Hesitation.
I thought a definite hesitation. Kenneth Williams is completely right. You have 0.8 of a second starting now.
Definite hesitation.
I never got it out!
Nicholas Parsons starting now.
Trunks!
Nicholas Parsons has an extra point because the bell rang. Kenneth Williams, you have the next subject. Will you speak for 1 minute on keeping pets? Starting now.
Oh, sorry, I was challenging myself. That's ridiculous, isn't it? Keeping pets. Well, I once had this goldfish and it just went round and round in this bowl and I got very fond of it, you know, but all this stuff started creeping all over it, a sort of hazy, misty stuff, and I took it to this bloke and he said, oh, yes, well, it means that you've had impure water in the tank, and so what I suggest is you take it out and scrape it all off. And I thought, oh, I don't want to hold it in my hand and actually scrape it all off.
Nicholas Parsons.
All very devious. But he also was repeating the scraping in the hand.
I don't really agree. I was fascinated.
I was revolted, actually.
Kenneth Williams, another point, and you have 47 seconds, starting now.
Yes, so I gave up the goldfish, you see, and I buried it. I did a nice little plaque over the top, but that was neither here nor there.
Geraldine Jones.
You can't keep a dead pet. So it's deviation.
I would have thought this is exactly the way to keep a pet. Kenneth Williams, you'll have another point. You have 30 seconds, starting now.
So I moved on, kept another pet instead, you see, and this pet was a hamster. Now, hamsters are very curious things because they need an awful lot of warmth, you know. They do need warmth, you see. So I had it in a box behind the lavatory.
Repetition.
Of warmth. You have the subject. You have 17 seconds, starting now.
Keeping pets is something I never, ever want to do. Occasionally, I've stayed at houses where people...
Kenneth Williams.
Deviation, we're discussing keeping pets, not what she doesn't want to do.
No.
What if she don't want to do
Geraldine
it?
Jones, you have another point. You have 13 seconds, starting now.
I'm absolutely convinced that the only people who keep pets are lunatics.
Nicholas Parsons.
Repetition, she's been keeping pets since...
I think I'm going to make a ruling here. The interruptions are coming so fast and furious, each person may repeat the subject once without being buzzed by the others for repetition. Is that fair?
Yeah.
Right, 8 seconds, Geraldine Jones. No points given to anyone for that. Starting now.
The whole house revolves around this business, and it's always terribly uncomfortable for any visitors. You have to be careful where you go. You have to bear in mind that some of your dinner goes to the dog.
Geraldine gets a point for speaking when the bell goes. Nicholas, you have the next subject, which is getting bubbles into soda water. Will you speak for 1 minute, starting now?
Anybody who's ever tried to get a bubble into soda water will know it's a very difficult process. First of all, you must, of course, have your water. It's essential to get some bubbles in it because that gives you the essential psst. And if you haven't got any psst coming out, you know very well.
Kenneth Williams.
Repetition.
No, only a single repetition.
If you don't have this particular noise occurring when you press the handle of your soda siphon, you will know that your whiskey or whatever else you are topping up will not have quite the same flavour as if you didn't have that psst noise. This is, of course, very difficult if you have got the particular...
Kenneth Williams.
Deviation. What's all this got to do with pressing your siphon? What's it got to do with getting the bubbles in the water?
Quite right.
Thank you.
Deviation is right. You have a point. You have the subject. You have 25 seconds, starting now.
Everyone knows the bubbles are put in by these monks who blow it in. They're famous for it. The monks of Buckfast Abbey blow the air into...
Nicholas Parsons.
I hated to stop him, but I think there was hesitation.
There was hesitation. You have the subject back. Getting bubbles into soda water, starting now.
As everybody knows, the monks of Belfast do not blow the bubbles in...
I didn't say Belfast.
Nobody said.
You
that
did. I never said
I
you
said
did.
Buckfast.
But I never said you said it. I was talking about the monks of Belfast.
We don't penalise for deafness. You have the subject back. You have under a quarter of a minute, starting now.
When I was last in Buckfast, I was talking to a chap who knows a great deal about this subject, and he said to me, "Fruits are the greatest fruit eaters are the soda fruit and cider eating the priest and the soda fruit and cider."
Geraldine Jones.
I can't understand it, but it sounds awfully repetitive.
No. Nick, start now.
Anybody who knows our delightful English dialects will know this is a very simple thing. It means that you must have bubbles.
Kenneth Williams.
What have dialects got to do with bubbles in the water? It's deviation, and you know it, Clement. Now, come on.
You have 1 point, and you have 1 second to go on getting bubbles into soda water, starting now.
As I said before, you blow them in.
The challenge was too late. The point goes to Kenneth Williams. The score now is Nicholas Parsons still in the lead.
Oh!
Closely followed by Kenneth Williams, who is 2 points behind, some way in front of Geraldine Jones, who is lying third. But has the next subject, which is hesitation. And in this subject, you do not use the indefinite article a. So will you speak for 1 minute on hesitation without using the indefinite article a, starting now.
The important thing to remember about hesitation is that it's a tremendously valuable asset. Anyone who...
It is very tremendously
Quite right, you have a
asset.
point, you have the subject, you have 53 seconds, starting now.
Just think how difficult it is to play this game when you have two people sitting beside you with buzzers in their hand, their fingers ready to press them at the slightest deviation, hesitation.
Geraldine Jones.
Hesitation.
Yes. Geraldine Jones, you have a point, you have the subject, hesitation, 33 seconds to go, starting now.
Everything that is enjoyable is made more enjoyable by hesitation. Things which are not enjoyable are made...
Kenneth Williams.
Enjoyable we had twice.
Repetition?
Yes, quite.
Right, you have a point, you have the subject, starting now.
Hesitation, as the poet says, he who hesitates is lost. And of course this remains a fundamental.
Geraldine Jones.
are fundamental.
Quite right. You have a point, you have the subject.
Oh,
20 seconds to go, starting now. Starting now.
If you like doing something, it's much nicer if you pause before you start doing it. If you don't like it, you pause and then you put off doing it.
Nicholas
He's
Parsons.
doing it an awful lot. Repetition.
I thought she was doing it once too often. You have the subject. You have 8 seconds to go, starting now.
Hesitation. is a subject which Kenneth Williams, when he plays to the audience here and gets laughs which the listeners know nothing about, will only...
Nicholas, you have another point and a commanding lead. And Kenneth Williams, you have the next subject, which is my favorite meal, which we would like you to talk about for 1 minute without using the personal pronoun I. My favorite meal without using the word I.
Impossible,
starting
Kenneth Williams.
now.
Well, there's your boiled beef and carrots, of course, which is a staple of the Cockney diet. Then, of course, there's your liver and bacon. Then, of course, for me...
Nicholas, Geraldine Jones.
We haven't got to his favourite meal yet. Deviation.
I think I'll ask the audience. Now, let's do it simultaneously. If you think Geraldine Jones is right, will you cheer? If you think Kenneth Williams is right, will you boo? Now! Kenneth Williams is right. Start now.
Then after that you have your steak and kidney pudding. This is absolutely delicious, but it must be taken fresh from the oven. It's no good having it hotted up. That's no good.
Geraldine Jones.
I insist this isn't about my favourite meal. It's about food in general.
I think you're right. You have the subject. You have 37 seconds to go. My favorite meal without using the word I, starting now.
My favourite meal changes from time to time.
Kenneth Williams.
Oh, it's ridiculous. I mean, it's a daft statement, isn't it? I mean, how can your favourite meal change? You can't have a favourite meal.
Wait.
Geraldine Jones, you have a point.
You didn't let
You
me
keep the
wait,
subject.
dear.
Stop it, Kenneth Williams. Geraldine Jones, my favorite meal, starting now.
The essence of such a thing is that you don't always have it. That it changes.
I think I ought to tell listeners that that was really the nastiest bit of intimidation.
I think she was
Very
hesitating,
good.
but I think it was very unfair, and I'd like to give the point that I know I'm going to win for this back to Geraldine Jones and the subject.
I will... Geraldine Jones, you have a point, and you have the subject. You have 29 seconds, starting now.
My favourite meal must be eaten in the company of such gallant gentlemen as Nicholas Parsons, who give me points that I don't really deserve. When I say that it changes, I mean that if you go on eating the same thing over and over again, it ceases to be favourite.
Nicholas Parsons.
Repetition over and over again is definite repetition.
I would have been more impressed if you had said, she said the word I.
Oh, yes, she said that as well, but I thought...
Geraldine Jones, you have a point, you have the subject.
I was sorry
You
to
have
say,
15
but
seconds to
Charlie.
go, starting now.
It always changes because you get so sick of the same thing.
Nicholas Parsons.
Hesitation.
Yes, right.
Right.
You have the subject, 10 seconds to go, starting now.
I don't know what this subject is, but I
Geraldine Jones,
I.
you have a point. My favorite meal, starting now.
Sometimes it's steak, sometimes it's salmon, sometimes...
Nicholas
will...
Parsons,
Sometimes, 3 times. Repetition.
a point, 5 seconds to go, starting now.
My favourite meal is a conglomeration of the dishes which go on the table with such precision.
At the latter end of the scale, Geraldine Jones and Kenneth Williams are now even. Unfortunately, 7 points behind Nicholas Parsons, who has the next subject, the best way of entertaining friends without using the word the. The best way of entertaining friends, starting now.
Best way of entertaining friends. It's impossible to talk about this subject. It begins with this definite article.
Geraldine Jones, you challenged.
Hesitation.
You have a point. You also have the best way of entertaining friends, starting now.
You must always bear in mind what your friends like doing. This is undoubtedly inadvisable when...
Inadvisable.
Nicholas Parsons,
Hesitation.
right. You have the subject, starting now.
When I'm entertaining my friends, my first thought is to ask Clement Freud to come round to dinner. Or...
Kenneth Williams.
Deviation.
No. Nicholas Parsons, you have another point, and you keep the subject.
I also like to ask Kenneth Williams, in spite of the fact that...
Geraldine Jones.
The.
You're right, you have a point, you have the subject, you have 37 seconds starting now.
Too many people, when entertaining friends, think only of themselves, and this leads to a number of awfully boring evenings. I've sat through innumerable such events.
Hesitation.
Reluctantly, yes. You have a point. who have the subject starting now.
My favourite guest to entertain is Geraldine Jones. She is the most
Geraldine Jones,
Modesty impels me to say hesitation.
you have the subject now.
Entertainment is often a very boring affair, which is quite the opposite of...
Kenneth Williams.
We had boring before. She's already done that. She said she sat through all these boring eves. Now we're off again on boring.
Yes, she did. You have a point, you have the subject, you have 18 seconds starting now.
Entertaining. Well, of course, you come into the room and you...
Geraldine Jones.
The Room.
Oh, I
Quite
didn't
right.
realise that.
Geraldine Jones, 14 seconds to go. The best way of entertaining friends starting now.
When people try to entertain friends deliberately, they always fail. You have to let people do what they want. This is invariably a very good...
Nicholas Parsons?
Well, hesitation.
Yes,
but
you're
all
right, you have
people-
the subject starting now.
When you have Clement Freud in your kitchen and he refuses to cook, the best thing is to twist his arm.
You said the.
But you didn't challenge.
Nicholas Parsons said the. Kenneth Williams looked at him, but didn't press his buzzer, so Nicholas Parsons has another point. And is now in a commanding lead. But Geraldine Jones is second and Kenneth Williams is last. Geraldine, it's your subject. Will you talk for 1 minute on bowling, starting now?
This is a terribly technical subject which I know nothing about. When I was at school, we had to play cricket, and part of learning to play this game involved learning how to bowl. It always involved such an enormous expenditure of effort, not just running, but wheeling around with your arms as well, that I decided very early on I would never, ever learn to bowl. Other people, I believe, do. Occasionally, my father forces me to watch cricket on television as part of widening my educational horizons. When I do, I always find it terribly boring, and particularly the part where the man bowls. It takes such a dreadfully...
Nicholas
That's the
Parsons.
third bowl we've had. Actually, there were 4, I think, but definitely. Bowling Christ, when she talked about bowling at
ungallant.
school
It's very ungallant.
and bowling. No, she let it go for a very long time.
Yes, don't go on.
You're such a hard man, as Kenneth said.
Nicholas Parsons, you lose a point
My
for...
God, he is.
You lose a point for repeating yourself on the challenge.
Yes, he loses it.
But you get the subject, bowling. You have 35 seconds to go, starting now.
Bowling is, of course, a gentle, lovely game. Upon the green swards of England, you will see these delightful elderly people with their little rolled-up mats railing down on one knee and tossing the ball gently across the green sward until it comes up against the little white pill the other end. Sometimes they say, "Yeah, it's your turn, Mabel. You see if you can beat that one because I bowled a good one. See if you can do it better."
It's brilliant. Oh, it's brilliant, isn't it? Very brilliant. I like the bit about Mabel.
Commendable point won by Nicholas Parsons on bowling. That is it. And Nicholas Parsons wins with 33 points, for which I think he deserves a small modicum of applause.
I don't. I thought it was disgraceful. It's disgraceful. All cheating.
Geraldine Jones, who was my own particular selection, as many of you must have noticed, came second with 25 points. And Kenneth Williams came last. Goodbye.
The chairman of Just a Minute this week was Clement Freud. The programme was devised by Ian Messiter and produced by David Hatch. present Kenneth Williams, Nicholas Parsons and Clement Freud in Just a Minute. And as the minute waltz fades away, here to tell you about it in the chair this week is Geraldine Jones.
Well, thank you. Here I am, surrounded by buzzers and stopwatches and a lot of rules which I'll explain as we go along. I also have a list of unlikely subjects for the panel to talk about for 60 seconds each without pausing or going off the subject or repeating themselves. In other words, they have to keep going, stick to the point, and not say anything twice. The first round begins with Kenneth Williams. Will you please talk for 1 minute on how to eat macaroni delicately and without cutting it, starting now?
Macaroni, this is a wheaten paste. I think it's important that we define the thing. It's a wheaten paste squeezed into a sort of tube-like shape, and the best way is to take it on your fork and to twist it so that the whole thing is eventually bunched, so to speak, on the end of the fork, and then you convey it to your mouth. In this way, of course,
Nicholas Parsons.
Hesitation.
Yes, terribly informative, but I think he was hesitating. So Nicholas Parsons gains a point and has 33 seconds on how to eat macaroni, etc., starting now.
Well, the art of doing this, of course, is something which has been lost to the younger generation. Brought up on op and populance, they...
Clement Freud.
Deviation.
In what way?
Hasn't mentioned macaroni decorously ever. Could have been talking about frying spaghetti instead of eating macaroni.
Fair enough. Clement Freud has 25 seconds on how to eat macaroni, starting now.
Ideally, you get a fork in your left hand and a spoon in your right hand. You get hold of this former implement, pierce the macaroni...
Nicholas Parsons.
Hesitation.
No, I don't think he
No
was.
sense of the theatre, has he? Have you noticed?
I think you have to make allowances for natural slowness of speech. Clement Freud gets another point and has 14 seconds, starting now.
And so having got the macaroni in the spoon, you twist your...
Nicholas Parsons.
Repetition of macaroni.
Yes, all right. Nicholas Parsons, you have a point and 12 seconds, starting now.
The famous Italian chef, Signor Gunta Panciato, once said to me, when you get to your macaroni, you got to stuff it right up the shoulder spout. You got to get the round part, because if you don't get it round or smooth, you don't get that twisty thing. You got to have the twisty, because that is so lovely.
Fine. Well, at the end of the first round, Nicholas Parsons is just leading from Clement Freud, and Kenneth Williams so far hasn't any points at all. Now, Nicholas Parsons' turn. Will you please talk for 1 minute on mumbo jumbo, starting now?
Mumbo, jumbo, jabberwocky, come, thing, this is how. Now, well, I thought come along the branch and step out along the rail. I thought he will say, no, you come there, and if what gives the gift he give us. Now, I saw it come. And then again, some people say this and some say that, but what would you? Ha ha, not I. But then, there is a point which says, come now, is it him, is it him, is it there, is it Williams, is it Freud? No, but come, this is a point. And so we step forth, we take our hands, we cup them together, we look up and we look down, because there is a way around. I thought perhaps this was it, and you said no, and
Clement Freud.
I didn't understand it.
Which rule was he breaking?
He repeated mumbo jumbo.
What does the audience think? If you think that Clement Freud is right and Nicholas Parsons was repeating himself, will you cheer? If you think Clement Freud was wrong, will you boo? All now. Well, I'm afraid the audience is very much with Nicholas Parsons, who gains a point and has 12 seconds left, starting now. Clement Freud. Clement Freud.
Hesitation.
Yes. Virtuoso as Nicholas Parsons is, I think he did hesitate there. Clement Freud has 11 and a half seconds on mumbo jumbo, starting now.
That's it.
hesitation.
Yes, such gallantry between you is very perturbing. Nicholas Parsons, you have another point and 9.5 seconds, starting now.
Mumbo Jumbo was a very happy little elephant, and as he walked down to the river one day, his daddy said to him, "Come along, little boy."
Well, at the end of that round, it's Nicholas Parsons way in the lead, Clement Freud second, and Kenneth Williams still very much behind.
Don't keep rubbing it in.
I say no more than the truth. Clement Freud, it's your turn now. Will you talk, please, for 1 minute on getting out of jail, starting now?
The most important thing about this subject is to get into jail in the first place, in order that you can start on this exercise. I would like to commend to listeners a number of useful ways of getting into jail. One of them would be to attack Nicholas Parsons with a blunt instrument. This would cover a multitude of useful causes, like removing the enemy.
Nicholas Parsons.
Hesitation.
It was indeed hesitation. 31 seconds on getting out of jail, starting now.
In order to get out of jail successfully, you must first read the small print in your contract. It usually goes something like this. Subsection...
Kenneth Williams.
Well, hesitation, but certainly deviation as well, because we're supposed to be discussing getting out of jail, not your contract, let's face it.
I think you're right.
Yes.
It did seem a bit devious. Kenneth Williams now breaks spectacularly into the game and has 21 seconds to talk about getting out of jail, starting now.
The first thing, obviously, to do is to get hold of a very good lawyer. That's the first thing to do. Then, on the other hand, if you can't get hold of a very good lawyer, then you want to get a rope ladder and a file. You can smuggle in nail files in loaves of bread. I know that goes on because I've read all these books about it. And then you saw through bars and lower your... Oh, thank you.
We start a new round now with Kenneth Williams. Will you talk, please, for 1 minute on hocus pocus, starting now?
Hocus pocus. Well, this is a very interesting word, hocus pocus. It is derived, of course, from the term hax, pax, max, deus, something, add something or other.
Nicholas
I
Parsons.
haven't finished.
I hate to do it, but I do think you were hesitating, Kenneth.
Yes, I'm
It's a
sure.
lovely bit.
I'm sure great things were to come, but too
Yes.
slowly. So Nicholas Parsons gains a point and has 22 and a half seconds left on hocus pocus, starting now.
Hocus Pocus, of course, was the chief leader of the witches in the Little Gnome story. And one day, as they were going down into the forest, there was a great big gnome there who said, "Come along, children, let us go this way." And the tree...
Kenneth Williams.
Deviation. Nothing to do with hocus pocus. Just a fairy story, that was. Deviation.
Yes, I happen to be very knowledgeable about hocus pocus, and I agree with you, Kenneth Williams. So you gain a point and
should
have
recognise our-
28 seconds, starting now.
Yes, as I say, it's derived from this term, which meant rather the equivalent of when you say today a magic phrase like abracadabra or something like that. It really means, hocus pocus, to take someone on to,
Nicholas Parsons. Nicholas Parsons.
hesitating again.
Yes, you really are ruthless, but you gain another point.
I let him say it twice before I pressed.
That's still ruthless when he's losing so sadly.
Oh, I'll do it.
you
Let him have it back. I'll give that point to Kenneth and let him go on.
No, we don't want you showing off with magnanimity. You have...
It's something I never do in public, Geraldine.
You have 11 seconds on hocus pocus, starting now.
Well, as I was saying about the children as they went into the forest, they said they were going to cast a spell. It was a real hocus-pocus type of spell, which would bring all the elves out of the trees and the little squirrels running down the branches. Of course...
Clement Freud. Clement Freud.
It was boring.
I think from the applause that the audience agrees with you. Yes, fair enough. A new rule has been born. You have only 1 second left, starting now.
I won't...
And Clement Freud just got that point for ending on the bell. The score now, still Nicholas Parsons in the lead, Clement Freud next, and Kenneth Williams third. Nicholas Parsons' turn. Will you please talk for 1 minute on my most miserable moment, starting now?
My most miserable moment was probably when I was asked to be on the panel of Just a Minute. I had been extremely happy being chairman of this game. I didn't realize how difficult and how impossible it was, and to me it was a miserable time of my life. I have endeavored to overcome and come back again to conquer this particular moment in my time. And I hope that successfully I may have done it, because to speak without hesitation...
Clement Freud.
Deviation. He hasn't done it.
Yes. Does the audience agree that it was a bit of waffle? If you do, cheer. And if you don't, boo. If you... Well, the audience thinks Nicholas Parsons was waffling. Clement Freud gets a point and has... You've got it right. 34 seconds on his most miserable moment, starting now.
It happened at 11:15 on the 18th of August, 1944. I was filling sandbags at number 28 Netherhill Gardens, Crowthorne in Berkshire, which is in the southwest of England. When this moment suddenly came up, the telephone rang. I picked up the receiver and said, "Hello, this is Crowthorne."
Nicholas Parsons.
That's even more boring than what I said.
I think, in fact, that it sounded utterly miserable, and probably because it was so miserable, it was boring. Clement Freud gains another point and has 5 seconds, starting now.
I said Crowthorne 489653167, and the...
Nicholas Parsons.
Repetition of numbers. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 7.
No, they were all different numbers, so Clement Freud gets another point.
Open favouritism.
And has 2 seconds left, starting now.
And the woman said, "I think you've got the wrong number."
Well, after my impartial chairing, Nicholas Parsons and Clement Freud are now level, and Kenneth Williams is in second place.
Quite nice.
Don't worry, she'll favour you this time.
Yes.
It's now Clement Freud's turn to talk for 1 minute, please, on disposing of orange pips, starting now.
These are definitely the best colour pips of which to dispose. I have tried to dispose of many other coloured pips without success, and so I'll confine myself in this brief talk to the subject on the card. The best...
Kenneth Williams.
Hesitation.
Yes.
Yes, I think it was hesitation. A point to Kenneth Williams. You have 43... You have 43 seconds on disposing of orange pips, starting now.
Well, of course, there are various ways of disposing of orange pips. I have seen some people just spit them out at passers-by. You know, actually, some people can spit them out with such velocity that they are capable of hitting people as they pass by. I've seen them get it right in the eye, an orange pip. On the other hand, some people surreptitiously sort of get them into the hand and then sort of glide away somewhere. You don't really know where it's all going. It might be on the floor, for all you know. And others, of course, put them into spoons and lower them onto the plate. Some people have a bit of paper into which they put them. But on the whole, I think the whole business of... I didn't repeat there, it was just...
Nicholas Parsons.
Hesitation.
No.
Yes, I think he was beginning to run down a bit. Nicholas Parsons...
You sound like a bit of clockwork.
Nicholas Parsons gets a point and has 6 seconds on disposing of orange pips, starting now.
The best way to dispose of an orange pip is to put it into the ground, and within a short space of time, the fermentation press will take... Oh.
Kenneth Williams, it's your turn now. Would you talk for 1 minute, please, on being measured for a suit? But you have to talk on this subject without saying to spelt T-O, to spelt T-double-O, and to spelt T-W-O. So no twos are allowed. Being measured for a suit, starting now.
Well, being measured for a suit can be an extremely luxurious experience. There is a nice feeling, I think, when people say, well, now just stand here, just slip off the jacket, I'll just measure you across the shoulders, I'll measure underarm, measure your waist. Of course, that time it's a bit much because you suddenly realize that you have put it on a bit, perhaps, you see, and that's not very nice. Hey, sir, hello, he was 30 last time, 31 here. Have to lay off the starch, I think, and the port, lay off the wines and all that sort of thing. That can be very embarrassing indeed. I haven't said two yet, I don't think.
Clement Freud.
2.
Yes, he did. He challenged you to challenge him. So Clement Freud gains a point and has 21 seconds, starting now.
Et tu, Brute.
Nicholas Parsons. Nicholas Parsons.
He used 2 words.
No, that's not allowed.
He said 2.
No, he
Yes,
said
but I
to you.
specified, you see, how the 2 was to be spelt. And
Yes, but it wasn't that too. I know Clement Freud. He doesn't speak Latin normally.
Well, I know that he does, and even if he doesn't, the Latin is correctly spelled T-U. My education has at last been of some use to me. And so Clement Freud gains another point and still has 19 seconds starting now.
The tailor takes his tape and runs down my inside thigh measurements, which he does with tremendous ability. 31, he shouts, then 33. He then goes to my waist.
Nicholas Parsons.
To my waist.
Well done.
Yes, you're right. You have 1 point and 7 seconds on being measured for a suit starting now.
Being measured for a suit is one of the luxurious things of life.
Clement Freud.
Hesitation.
Yes. Yes, he was fumbling a bit, I think.
Yes, he was definitely fumbling.
Miss Lady Chairman.
Madam Chairman.
May I say, you're so charming and so understanding and so kind to people. I was born with an impediment. I do have difficulty with my speech. I managed to conquer in my youth a very difficult stutter, and luxurious has always been one of the most difficult words.
Well, in saying I was charming, etc., you were saying no more than the truth, but I'm not really very sympathetic to people with impediments in their
realise
speech.
that.
Clement Freud has a point and
She's hard.
2 seconds left, starting now.
My waist measurement is...
Nicholas Parsons.
Repetition, he used the word waste before.
No, I'm going to give it to Clement Freud. He has 1 second left, starting now.
chest.
Well, at the end of that round, Clement Freud has made a staggering leap to the first place. Nicholas Parsons is in second, and Kenneth Williams, alas, still in third. Nicholas Parsons, it's your turn now. Will you talk for 1 minute, please, on how to open a bazaar without saying the word "the", starting now?
Opening a bazaar is a bizarre experience. The whole point is...
Clement Freud.
The whole point.
Yes, he did. You have 55 seconds on how to open a bazaar, starting now.
Ladies and gentlemen who have come unto my garden this afternoon, I welcome you all most sincerely from a deep down part...
Nicholas Parsons.
He's getting so slow, you know, it's obvious hesitation. You can't...
I agree, you don't need to argue it. I'm surprised you didn't interrupt sooner.
Well, I was afraid of being penalised.
You gain... I'm always fair. You gain 1 point. How to open a bazaar, starting now.
You take occasion, which is, after all, the thought of...
Clement Freud.
The thought.
Yes, unfortunately for Nicholas Parsons, Clement Freud gains a point and has 25 seconds, starting now.
My Lord Mayor, you chaps over there, gentlemen...
Kenneth Williams.
Deviation, Lord Mayors aren't at bazaars. That's ludicrous.
Well, I suppose very posh bazaars, maybe not in general. Kenneth Williams gains a point and has 19 seconds to talk about how to open a bazaar without using the word "the", starting now.
You get up and you say something which is reasonably funny to open your speech, and then you cut the ribbon and...
Clement Freud.
The ribbon.
Yes, I'm afraid so. You have gained a point. You've gained a point and you have 9 seconds, starting now.
Any old ribbon and any pair of scissors will do this job handsomely. Ideally, it should be conducted by someone wearing a bright...
Clement Freud gained another point for finishing on the bell, and he's now substantially in the lead from Nicholas Parsons and Kenneth Williams in third place. Now, Kenneth Williams' turn. Will you talk, please, for 1 minute on the sport I least enjoy, starting now?
Well, that's not very difficult for me because I don't really enjoy any of them. And I think it's very significant that the real brains of this world are not to be found rushing about on a football field chasing something that's got a lot of air in it and a bit of rubber. I don't think you'll find them there, no. And it's said by some people that sport's a very good thing because it's supposed to get rid of a lot of aggressive instincts. And I think that's a load of rubbish too, because it's been consistently proved time and time again that the only way you get rid of such instincts is by the guilt. Guilt, you have to have guilt.
Nicholas Parsons.
Repetition of guilt, and again...
Yes, all right.
But I was using it in the sense of gold.
No, I don't think I can accept that. Nicholas Parsons gains a point and has 26 seconds on the sport I least enjoy, starting now.
The sport I least enjoy is playing just a minute. It is considered to be a sport among some because those who play it in such an unsporting fashion.
Clement Freud.
3 sports.
Yes,
Which is a fair definition of the team, but is repetition.
absolutely. Clement Freud gains a point and has 17 seconds starting now.
Basketball is the one I least enjoy because it is intensely boring. 46 men of indeterminate ages line up on either side of a white line.
Nicholas
It's
Parsons.
getting slower and slower, and so it must be hesitation.
No, I think he was keeping going, actually. There.
Yes, but slower.
No,
and slower.
hesitation is more than speaking slowly, especially when you naturally speak as slowly as Clement Freud. So Clement Freud gains a point and has 3 seconds left, starting now.
And the left back passes the right back, who passes the centre forward.
Nicholas Parsons.
Out of his own mouth, he proved himself by speaking not like Clement Freud. So it must be deviation. If he normally speaks slow, that is deviation to speak like that.
Yes, Nicholas Parsons gets a point for cleverness, but not for knowing the rules of the game. And Clement Freud still has 2 seconds, starting now.
Who passes the centre forward.
Nicholas
He
Parsons.
passed in his last speech.
Fair enough. Nicholas Parsons, you gain a point and have half a second, starting now. Well, the scores are still Clement Freud in the lead, Nicholas Parsons very close behind him, and Kenneth Williams third. Nicholas Parsons, it's your turn now to talk, please, on what to do when sleep is impossible. For 1 minute, starting now.
The best thing to do when sleep is impossible is to wake up. Having woken up, you want to think of all the most wonderful things that you possibly can. Like, for instance, those wonderful trips abroad. The last time I was in Paris, I couldn't sleep at all, so I got up, I went downstairs, I met a charming French monsieur, which, as everybody
Clement
knows,
Freud.
means when you cannot sleep...
Clement
the
Freud
best
has
thing-
interrupted. Why were you interrupting?
Forgotten. It was a very long time ago. Repetition.
Yes,
In
all right.
French.
Clement Freud, you gain a point and have 38 seconds, starting now.
You lie awake and you count the pillars in your bedroom, and then you count the overmantels.
Kenneth Williams.
Hesitation.
Yes, I agree. Very hesitant. Kenneth Williams, you have 32 seconds on what to do when sleep is impossible, starting now.
When you can't sleep, the best thing to do is to have a ceremony. There is no question at all about that. You have a ceremony. You get up and you make yourself a pot of tea, read on a little cloth on the tray, have your little cups and saucers and the milk and sugar all ready, and then convey it to the bedroom on the side table. That's very nice then, because you don't feel it's all dreadful and that you can't sleep. You've suddenly made a little ceremony, you see, and you look out the window and you see all the traffic going along the road, and you think, what are those people doing? Where are they going to at this time of night, too?
And that, I'm afraid, is where we must leave it, because Just a Minute has to be off the air in just a minute.
Well, then don't mention the marks, dear.
But I have time, alas, to Kenneth Williams' undying shame, to mention that in this game, Clement Freud won with a substantial lead over Nicholas Parsons in second place, and Kenneth Williams, alas, in third place. Goodbye.
In the chair for this week's Just a Minute was Geraldine Jones. The programme was devised by Ian Messiter and produced by David Hack.
present Kenneth Williams, Derek Nimmo, Nicholas Parsons, and Sheila Hancock in Just a Minute. And as the minute horse fades away, here to tell you about it is this week's chairman, Clement Freud.
Thank you for that tremendously warm welcome. Let me just remind you how this game is played. Each panelist is going to be given a subject and will have to talk about it for 60 seconds without deviating from it, without hesitating, and without repeating himself. And the first subject today goes to the newest member of the panel, who is actually the oldest chairman we ever had, Nicholas Parsons. Nicholas, will you speak for 1 minute on the Blarney Stone, starting now?
The Blarney Stone is a piece of rock in a castle in a village outside Cork in Southern Ireland. It is considered that if you manage to kiss this particular Blarney Stone...
Hesitation.
Unfair!
Great hesitation.
Can we just... Derek, I believe you challenged.
Yes, I challenge on the grounds of hesitation.
You have the subject of the Blarney Stone. You have 47 seconds to go, starting now.
When I first met Blarney Stone, it was in a small castle in Southern Ireland. The very first...
Nick Lubas.
I've said repetition. I've said Southern Ireland. I've said small
This
castle.
was a gentleman called Blarney Stone.
Yes, but I have already said Southern Ireland.
Stop arguing. Nick, you get a point. You've got 41 seconds on the Blarney Stone, starting now.
If you...
Derek, you buzz.
Hesitation.
Shut up. Nick, you have another point, the Blarney Stone.
How are you, Kenneth? All right? Just tell them you're here. Say something to me.
I'm perfectly all right,
Good.
Sheila. I'm listening now. Go on.
If you kiss the Blarney Stone, it's considered that you have the gift of eloquence.
Derek, you buzz.
Well, he said if you kissed before.
That is absolutely correct.
Well, I
Derek?
love kissing. I mean...
Derek has another point. He has the Blarney Stone. He has 34 seconds, starting now.
This particular piece of masonry was hewed from the earth some 789 years ago, come next Pancake Tuesday. The interesting thing about it, in attendance at the time, was the Thane of Freud, which is one of the smaller villages outside...
Kenneth, you challenge.
Deviation, there aren't any Thanes in Ireland. Scotstown.
Kenneth, you have a point. You have 18 seconds, and the Blarney Stone, starting now.
This stone has its name, Blarney, which is connoted in Ireland with to mull over, to, so to speak, blot and add...
Derek, you buzz.
Repetition 2 twos.
I think that's right, actually. Yes, Derek, you have another point. You have the Blarney Stone for 6 seconds, starting now.
Early in the 19th century, there was a determined attempt by a group of Englishmen to steal this piece of rock and bring it back to...
Repetition of a piece of rock. He said it before.
He did. You get a point. You have 2 seconds. The Blarney Stone, starting now.
It is also considered you have the gift of the gap.
As Nicholas was talking while the whistle went, he gets another point, and he shares the lead with Derek Nimmo, and they are just ahead of Kenneth Williams, and Sheila Hancock is there.
Bottom.
Still.
Yes, go on,
No.
say it. I don't care. I don't care.
It's all a bit creepy, isn't it, though?
Sheila, it's your turn.
Oh,
The subject is magic for 1 minute, starting now.
this is something with which I could not do without. To start with, you have the sort of conjuring magic. Ow! Get off.
I'm afraid so. Derek, you have a point. You have magic. 54 seconds, starting now.
I remember going to the Hogan Empire in the old days, and there seeing wonderful magicians standing there, pulling out of bags rabbits, out of the sleeves of that...
Kenneth, you buzz.
2 out.
2 out, so quite
Kenneth, I will give no more duplication of prepositions.
He said 2.
Derek has the subject back.
Oh,
46 seconds.
playing like that, is
Magic, starting now.
2 little gnomes and 1 pixie held a wand high in the air.
Sheila.
Deviation, this isn't true.
Magic.
Gnomes and pixies. You've never met a gnome in your life apart from Kenneth.
Sheila, you're absolutely right. He's never met a gnome in his life. You have the subject. You have 36 seconds on magic, starting now.
There are certain people who have magic, like Clement Freud. He has a great magic.
Deviation. Clement Freud has no magic.
Another point, Sheila. 31 seconds. Sheila, starting now.
Kenneth Williams has it off and on. Derek has it mainly off. We also sometimes say in the theatre, the magic happened tonight, which means that a sort of communion happens between you and the audience. It's nothing to do with how you work, it's just something that happens. The other day, my little girl was watching her daddy doing a card trick, and I explained to her how the card trick was done, because I'm an immensely practical man.
Nick, you both.
Repetition of card trick.
Oh, yes.
Yes. Very ungallant. But
Yes.
it sounded
Well, she
good.
was going for
Oh, yes, 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 yes. Well, Nick, you have magic for 6 seconds. And another point, starting now.
Some of the best magic you can see comes from television. The other group has to say...
Derek, you challenge.
It doesn't.
You know, it's terribly unfair of me to judge.
You've got to make the decision, love.
I'll tell you what, you'll score no points like I do and leave the
Shut
second
up.
to me.
Derek, you have the subject for 1 second, magic, starting now.
Houdini was a very great.
And as Derek was talking, while the whistle went, he gets another point, and Kenneth gets the next subject. Will you speak for 1 minute, please, on laughter, starting now?
This sometimes happens through serendipity and sometimes through the machinations or otherwise of professional comedians. Roby came on once and said my last audience simply adored me, the reception I got was sublime. They made me a present of Mornington Crescent and threw it a brick at a time. Another notable comedian, Nellie Watts.
Nick, you challenge.
Repetition of comedian.
I said comedian.
Comedian.
Or, Kenneth, you have another point. You have 33 seconds. Nicholas, be quiet. 33 seconds on laughter, starting now.
And she cried out, I'm in the garden watching the birds, wheeling and turning, waiting for them to drop a message by carrier pigeon. And they said, waiting for it, you're asking for it. And laughter was produced with these wonderful lines. Such a nice young man he was, always held me purse, said the change did him good. Another laugh get up. Indeed, it's the most healthy sound that ever issued forth from the human body.
Kenneth Williams gets another point because he was speaking while the whistle went, which puts him 1 point behind Nicholas and a few points behind Derek.
So I'm creeping
Nimmer.
up, really. Aren't I?
You're creeping up, and Derek Nimmer is in the lead
if you don't mind.
and has the next subject, which is hobgoblins. Will you speak about hobgoblins for 1 minute, starting now?
Source of great regret to me that people these days tend not to believe in fairies and gnomes and pixies, and in particular in hobgoblins. But all of you here who are privileged to look at Kenneth Williams tonight will know without any doubt they do still exist. What is a hobgoblin? Small...
Nicholas, you challenge.
Deviation, I don't believe that Kenneth Williams is a hobgoblin. I think he's a human being.
This is not a game in which you spread your beliefs. Derek, you have another point. You have hobgoblins. You've got 41 seconds, starting now.
A small, ugly, mischievous demon is a hobgoblin. And that is what we see here.
I'm not going to have that. He's not ugly.
Sheila, you're quite right. You have a point. You've got the subject. You've got 35 seconds, starting now.
Hobgoblins are little eyes, I know.
A hesitation.
You're absolutely...
You are a swine, Lily. Sheila has another point. She has another hobgoblin. She has 30
I don't know what to
seconds,
say about
starting
hobgoblins.
now.
Goblins that live in the hob. They sit on the kettle and bubble. That's what hobgoblins are. They have little horns and red trousers. They walk around in the
Derek,
fireplace.
you gentlemen.
A hesitation.
Yeah.
I'm afraid
I
it
do
was
have to
hesitation.
breathe, you
Yes,
know.
I know.
Derek, you have another point. 18 seconds. Hobgoblin starting
In
now.
the Sun King's court.
Nick Jones,
Hesitation.
you have a point. You have Hobgoblins, 15 seconds.
These hobgoblins all
Nick.
came down to this big
Nick.
one.
You have 15 seconds. Starting now.
These hobgoblins all came down to this big house.
Derek Jones.
Repetition, you just said it.
Nick, you have another point. 13 seconds on Hobgoblins starting now.
These particular creatures came into this house with the three lads.
Derek Jones.
Repetition, is it?
That, I think, really was repetition. Derek, you have a point. You have 10 seconds on Hobgoblins starting now.
The Gobelin tapestries were the most famous creation.
Nick, you tell.
No,
I challenged you.
Kenneth.
Yes, because he wasn't saying goblin, he said gobelin.
I think Gobelin is absolutely legitimate.
Well, then why haven't we been saying that all along? Why have we all been saying goblin?
Of the subject.
You're no
Which is-
gent.
I'm a gentleman. And Derek has another point. And you have 8 more seconds starting now.
And Jacques Oates was the most famous tapestry worker and the most sought after.
Nick, you tell.
repetition of tapestry.
Oh,
That's quite right. You have another point. You have the subject. 3 seconds starting now.
The three lads lived in this house and their names were Ken and Clem.
Nicholas gets another point because he was speaking while the whistle went. He's now 3 points behind Derek and some way ahead of Sheila Hancock, who is just ahead of Kenneth Williams.
Who am I? Oh.
And Nicholas has the next subject. Will you speak for 1 minute, please, on crumpets? Starting now.
Crumpets are absolutely delicious. Well toasted with plenty of butter on them, you can have them for pretty well any meal you like. I love them myself. Of course, in the Midlands, they're usually referred to as pikelets. In other parts of the country, they're sometimes called muffins. In the singular, this word has a quite different meaning. It usually means a woman of very easy virtue. And if you write any script at all, it is sure to get a laugh. Immediately you get a reaction from the audience if you say the word crumpet. If you put this into a right thing on the radio, you will...
Sheila, you tell us.
Hesitation.
You get a point, you get the subject, you have 25 seconds on crumpets starting now.
One of my happiest memories as a child was Sunday tea, when we always had crumpets or muffins and butter with honey on. My father used to cook them with a knife, and he used to scream all the while because he always burnt his hand. And nothing would induce him to use the toasting fork. It was part of the ritual. Always used to drop off, and we always burnt at least 3 crumpets out of the packets of 6. But it was a thing that we enjoyed very much. We then used to put them on a plate in the hearth, and all the butter soaked
Sheila, you get another point because you were talking
Oh,
while the
and you
whistle
were also
went.
gallant, because I did say always an awful lot.
Did you? I didn't know.
Mouths were watering, I can feel the butter.
You're now... Sheila is now substantially in 3rd place behind Nick, who is definitively in 2nd place behind Derek Nimmo, who is currently in the lead. Sheila, you start the next round with landladies. Will you speak for 1 minute on landladies starting now?
These are both the terror and the delight of my life. Most of my early days have been spent in digs, as I'm sure most of the people on this panel. When you're in the theatre, you don't have a home at all until you settle in the West End. And from the day I was 16, I lived in digs. Oh, yes.
Derek, you but.
Repetition.
Derek, you have the sound for 43 seconds. Landladies starting now.
During the war, we used to have a lot of land girls working on the fields of...
Kenneth.
deviation. That is landladies, not land girls.
May I please substantiate?
If you could have had him for hesitation, but for deviation, I won't give it. Derek, you get another point. You have landladies.
Deviation on me.
39 seconds starting now.
As they matured and aged, they became landladies. And a splendid job of work they did.
Deviation. They never began as land girls to become landladies. Such a maturity did not occur.
I think they could quite easily have become landladies.
They certainly didn't. I'm telling you, Ducky. Yes, I have to know you weren't alive at the time.
No, it's absolutely true. I wasn't. Derek, you have another point.
Oh, it will be, Miss
It's nepotism. No nepot, you can see it from here.
You have nepotic landladies, 33 seconds starting now.
Mrs. McFadden, who lives in Glasgow, keeps a lovely house with a warm bed-sitting room where I go and stay every time I'm there. And there I have teas brought into me, lovely cold fire to warm my cold hands. I remember going back there on a Tuesday evening in Lent, and the funny thing was that she'd given up fish for Lent, and I said, how very kind, I said it twice, and I wouldn't stop.
Kenneth.
2 Lents.
2 lengths. You have a point. You have a subject. You have 3 seconds starting now.
The best lady I ever met was Sheila Hancock when she played the landlady in the review I was in with her.
You know, I never thought we would get to the end of the landladies, but we have. And Derek is now really rather extravagantly in the lead.
Really very odd.
Derek, you have the next subject. Will you speak for 1 minute on taking risks? And will you start now?
Well, of course, I do think of all the great truisms, this one is perhaps the most true, that one should always try to take risks. And we have done tonight, for instance. We have sitting up there as our chairman, Clement Freud, looking like a reincarnation of Genghis Khan.
Kenneth, you tell us.
Deviation. Clement Freud does not look like the reincarnation.
You needn't go on. You have a point. Kenneth, you have 42 seconds on taking risks, starting now.
This involves, of course, vulnerability, and it's something about which I am an authority. Whenever one takes a step, be it into the middle of the road, there is the danger that we might be run over or...
Sheila.
Deviation is a pretty funny step that gets you right into the middle of the road.
Sheila, you have a point. Taking risks, 22 seconds starting now.
One of the most classic examples. Totally right, and he's a cocky.
Derek, you challenge for hesitation.
He hits me all the time. You do.
When have I...
I can feel you wobbling.
Will you stop?
Deviation.
He flies his arms around and wriggles. Go on,
They've
then,
stopped
go
wriggling
on.
now, Derek. You have the subject back. Taking risks, 21 seconds starting now.
Well, now the risk that we've taken tonight is having that genial Nicholas Parsons on the farm.
Nick, you challenge.
A hesitation before the nit and also deviation for the Nicholas Parsons nit.
Nicholas Parsons gets the subject, 16 seconds on taking risks, starting now.
I took a very big risk when I decided to become on the chair of this particular program and allow Clement...
Kenneth, you challenge.
To become on the chair. To become on the chair? What's he going to do on this chair? No? What's he going to become? I'm waiting for an ectoplasm.
You have...
Stomach smells like a bit of addict up here. Someone called their tea with them.
You have made your point, you have got your point, you've got the subject, you have 11 seconds, taking risks, starting now.
And all our lives we go out with this terrible misfortune hanging over our heads like a sword of Damocles.
Deviation. We all haven't got this terrible misfortune. Only Kenneth Williams has the terrible hanging about him.
No, I think that's not a valid, not a valid deviation.
Well,
you have the
yes.
subject back, you have an extra point, you've only got 3 seconds, I'm with you, starting now.
But if you wear a lucky charm and keep your picker up, you'll think to yourself, well, I'll get
Kenneth, you have leapt past Sheila Hancock.
Oh, love, am I the lead?
No.
No, you don't overdo
You're just
it. You
not
have
bottom.
leapt past Sheila Hancock.
Well, who is in the lead?
Derek, who is in front of Nick.
How did he do it? I mean, his performance has been totally inept.
Breathe down your neck.
Nicholas, you have plenty of chance
You
to
keep
breathe
wobbling
down
next
people's
to her
necks,
over there.
because you have the next subject. It is gibberish. And you may talk about gibberish for 1 minute without deviating, without hesitating, and without repeating yourself for a period of 60 seconds starting now.
Quand j'entends vivre son complet voir, j'entends faire un école, parce que c'est rien, mais oui, j'entends faire un école, j'entends voir, j'entends faire un école, 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 j'entends faire un école,
challenge. Nick. Nick, you were challenged about 48 seconds.
I couldn't
Otherwise, you would have gone on. You challenged.
On the grounds of repetition.
Yes, I was omelette sur le visage.
I think I must give you the point. Derek Nimmo.
I didn't repeat anything the whole time. It was pure gibberish.
But
Pure.
as it continued to be gibberish, it was repetition, and therefore... Derek has the subject, 53 seconds starting now.
Fortune blood, come around, Clement Freud, Nicholas Parsons, can you stand up, Claudio, nothing is one, but you la fone cappuccino, 1, 2, well, la partita, la done, but 2 o'clock, and 4 in the one, and under the box, go, put it up, come round the body, 10 and a half, you hope you put around and make a monkey game,
Derek, you're nowhere near the end because Nick challenged you. And I think on the same grounds, I must give it to Nick.
I challenge him in exactly the
Yes,
same
it was
ground.
there.
But actually, I can substantiate my challenge. He actually, ha, 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 ha. That is...
I've already given it to you. You're in danger of losing it. But you have got it for 38 seconds gibberish starting now.
Grancio mangiaro, veramente barbo, sconciotto al mere, fantoro, canticcio, mangiata venti, manioro, confiuto, manzitti, and pentero.
Derek, you challenged.
repetition of O.
Nick, you have an extra point. You have the subject. You have another 28 seconds starting now.
This is a most fascinating subject. Gibberish is, of course, the obliteration of sense, and you put words together in such conjunctivation that you do not understand them. The audience is mystified, puzzled beyond
Kenneth,
words.
you challenged.
Conjunctivation. Conjunction exists. Conjunctivation doesn't.
It does in my vocabulary.
Kenneth, you have a point.
Something
you have the
wrong with your
subject.
eyes.
Conjunctive.
What did you say?
Kenneth, gibberish. 18 seconds starting now.
I really don't understand it, but if somebody says, Trevor, very quickly, the Asian dish is sparkling with a wax, or unity is funny the ears, the order of our style
Nick,
and
you challenged.
Well, I get him on the same as before, repetition.
No, you don't.
Not-
Kenneth, you have another point. You have 12 seconds to go starting now.
Then I would say positive focus trends up the early morning, waking thoughts of clarity in the Milo.
Nick, you challenged.
Repetition is already said. They're close enough to know that all the Bible.
Kenneth has another point, and is creeping up very quickly indeed. 9 seconds to go, starting now.
In the luxury flabber block with a dangly chandelier, Harry the Acres and Catherine of Aribold.
Nick, you challenged.
Hesitation.
Hesitation is correct. You get another point, Nick. You've got 1.5 seconds starting now.
If you can talk about gibberish,
That brings us to the end of this edition of Just a Minute. The winner, let's do it in the reverse order, as was done by Nicholas Parsons, who was once chairman of this program. And in fourth place was Sheila Hancock. In third place, Kenneth Williams. And in second place, 1 point behind this week's winner was Nicholas Parsons. Which means that the winner this week was Derek Nimmo.
The chairman of Just a Minute was Clement Freud. The program was devised by Ian Messiter and produced by Simon Brett.
We present Just a Minute with Kenneth Williams, Clement Freud, Peter Jones, and deposed chairman Nicholas Parsons. And as our contribution to the women's liberation movement, the chairman is Andree Melly.
thank you. The object of this game is to speak for just a minute without repetition, hesitation, or deviation. I know it's very difficult because I've tried it, but that doesn't mean I'm going to be lenient. Oh, no. So,
she looked at me when she said that.
Keep going, don't repeat yourself, and don't get off the subject. As Nicholas Parsons hasn't had much experience of being on the receiving end of the game, we are going to start with him. Nicholas, can you speak for just a minute on the position I now find myself in?
No.
Starting now.
The position I now find myself in is a very uncomfortable one. I feel like Daniel must have done when he went in amongst the lions. And let me tell you who these lions are. Sitting on my left, I have Peter Jones. I know he washes regularly, and his breath is as pure as gold, and that great aura of wit and charm that he exudes, and is a great companionable chap, and he makes me feel in this position very comfortable. But facing me, I see Kenneth Williams, who goes in great flights of rhetoric, audacity, and panache beyond all word. And sometimes the audience love it, and sometimes they cheer, and sometimes they boo. But Clement Freud sitting beside him with his dog-like look, and also those Saturnine features which belie so much that goes on beneath that cranium there, where the wheels of his brain are turning with such speed and alacrity that we wonder... My God!
Well, Nicholas Parsons gets 2 points for speaking for just a minute without interruption.
May I now retire?
No, stay right there. There were many repetitions and sometimes that I heard, but everyone was being very nice and well done. Next, Kenneth Williams, can you speak for just a minute on women in authority? Starting now.
They're a disgrace, and moreover, they use their position and their dirty feminine wiles, and thus result in disorganisation, and she's gone off, she's left. Come back here.
I've challenged.
Yes, Nicholas Parsons challenged.
Deviation, because the chairwoman left the platform. It's dried up, Kenneth Williams, and so he hesitated as well.
Well, I didn't hear him hesitate. It was very kind of you to support me.
I didn't, you fell.
But I don't really accept the challenge. Kenneth gets a point, and he keeps the subject. There are 49 seconds. Women in authority, starting now.
Women in authority are always better if they're replaced by men. Only then can you have a proper kind of impartiality and an objectivity, because men do not bring anything...
Clement Freud, you challenged.
Repetition of men.
Yes, there was. That's a point to Clement. There are 35 seconds. You have the subject women in authority starting now.
I am very much in favour of women in authority. Not only are women the best other sex that we have, but authority...
Kenneth, you challenged.
Deviation. It's ridiculous to say they're the best other sex we have. They're the only other sex we have.
I'm afraid, although he was being lovely about us women, I have to agree with Kenneth. He gets a point and the subject, women in authority, with 26 seconds starting now.
You can see the result of women in authority when you read those feminine sections of these daft magazines where they're all advising these idiots who write in about their acne, and they say, oh, it'll be all right, love, shove a load of pancake over it and you'll never notice. What a load of rubbish. And indeed, this goes on every single week. Heartbroken Berkhamsted. Have you ever heard anything like it? And they write to these women who are supposed to...
Clement, you challenged.
Right. Repetition of...
No, the first one was R-I-G-H-T and the other one was W-R-A.
Ouch. I think Clement was right. And anyway, he was being so nice about his own, Kenneth's being so horrible, and I can say which is right and which is wrong. So Clement gets the subject, he gets a point, he's got 1 second for women in authority starting now.
Lovely.
Clement is in the lead at the end of that round. Kenneth is just behind him, Nicholas behind him, and Peter, we haven't started to score yet. We haven't heard from you at all.
We can't be in front, we're all behind.
It's now Clement's turn. The subject is women in trousers. Can you speak for 60 seconds on women in trousers, starting now?
The most important thing about women in trousers is to ascertain whose trousers the women are in. And if you should find that she is wearing a pair of her own, you're in a very much better condition than should she be dressed in someone else's apparel. I once met a woman who was wearing Nelson's trousers, and as this...
Nicholas, you challenge.
Nelson wore breeches, not trousers. Deviation.
Oh, yes, I think that's quite clever. I think that's all right. You'll get a point, you get the subject.
I don't want it.
There are 36 seconds for women in trousers starting now.
Women in trousers, what does it mean? I say to you all sitting out there in this audience, this could be the beginning of the end if you didn't see the end of the trousers. Now...
Clement buzzed first. You challenged?
Repetition of end.
Yes, I heard 2 ends. It was the end.
Well, I was talking about Nicholas, you see.
I accept his challenge. He gets a point. He gets the subject women in trousers. There are 28 seconds starting now.
There's still a number of London restaurants who maintain...
Peter, you challenge.
A deviation. Talking about restaurants, his favourite subject. Nothing to do with women in trousers.
Well, as we haven't heard from you for a long time, Peter, I'm going to give you the subject and a point. There are 25 seconds for women in trousers starting now.
They can get about and be very nimble when they're wearing these skirts, I do feel.
Kenneth, you challenge.
Deviation, whether in trousers or not, has nothing to do with it. They can get about in skirts. I mean, that's so totally irrelevant. It's deviation.
No, I have the experience of being in trousers and skirts, and you're much nimbler in a pair of pants. So Peter keeps the subject. There are 20 seconds. He gets a point. The subject's women in trousers starting now.
And it's quite useful if they're going up ladders or coming down stairs, riding horseback, or jumping up and down on weighing machines. A variety of activities.
Nicholas, you challenge.
Well, that is definitely, in my mind, Davis. If you jump up and down on a weighing machine, you will break it. And no woman would want to jump on a weighing machine because it would go down further and her weight would be higher. Her feminine vanity wouldn't let her jump. She would step nimbly onto it.
But once broken, it's silenced and can no longer tell her the truth.
Yes, I jump up and down always on weighing machines because you think it's going to get a bit less. I'm afraid I am with Peter on this. He keeps the subject. He gets another point. There are 10 seconds for women in trousers.
I can think of no one I would...
Now.
I can think of no one I would rather
Kenneth,
be with.
Deviation is deliberately going slow in order to win this round.
I think he was going about as slow as you do, so he's probably just sort of realising that's the way to carry on. He keeps the subject, he gets another point. There are 7 seconds, women in trousers, starting now.
Anyway, hot pants are still included.
Nicholas.
Hot pants aren't trousers.
No, they're not. You're quite right. You get a point. There are 4 seconds, women in trousers, starting now.
Well, women in trousers.
Clement, challenged.
Hesitation.
Yes, I'm afraid that is quite definite.
Oh, a dog-like face, a smile, too, and his cheekiness.
No, I think they're just ganging up over there.
Yes.
I'm going to let you keep the subject, Nicholas. I'm going to
Thank
give
you.
you a point. I'm
I'll
going to
remember
help
this,
you
Andree,
along.
if
That's
I-
right.
can you
There
come-
are 3 seconds, women in trousers, starting now.
Some of them look charming as they walk along.
Nicholas Parsons gets a point for speaking when the whistle went, and, I don't believe it. He's in the lead? Oh, rubbish. He's in the lead. Well, that's the end of all of that. You watch it next round. Clement and Peter
prejudiced.
behind, and Kenneth trailing, as Nicholas used to say. It's now Peter's turn. The subject is gentlemen prefer blondes. Can you speak for just 60 seconds on gentlemen prefer blondes, starting now?
Well, of course, I don't really believe it. In any case, it's a dreary old cliché which only serves to confirm the male attitude to women, which is basically that they are things or objects, sexual or otherwise. And
Kenneth, you challenge.
Disgusting. There's no need. I don't want to sit here listening to a load of filth. Must be found entertainment, hearing about sexuality on the air. I don't want to sit here and listen to a load of filth. That's
Right.
deviation.
Yes.
Deviation.
Deviation.
Definite deviation.
Otherwise was definitely deviation.
Yes. No, we can't have words like sexual. Words
No,
like that,
certainly
because-
not.
No,
Sexual,
right.
all right.
Deviation.
Otherwise.
Thank you. Thank you.
Kenneth gets the subject.
Yeah.
well, I've
And-
got my image.
Shut your mouth! Shut your mouth!
I don't see why I
Hush
should
up, the lot of you.
be hamstrung.
I haven't said a word.
There are 41 seconds for Kenneth Williams to tell us why gentlemen prefer blondes, starting now.
Gentlemen prefer blondes because there was this show, you see, of that name in which this girl come on and sang this number really lovely, and it swept London. Everyone was going around believing that this title was indeed more than just the name of a show, but it was...
Everyone buzzed and Clement did it first.
A repetition of show.
Yes, there were 2 shows, I'm afraid. Clement, you get a point. You get the subject. The gentlemen prefer blondes. 26 seconds starting now.
This was originally a book written by a lady called Anita Luce, spelled L2O's. Many people...
Peter, you challenge.
Repetition of O.
No, he said 2 O's.
Well,
he didn't say O-O.
Spelled it out. Well, if it's 2
No,
O's,
no,
I mean...
No.
The O was repeated.
I think he said 2 O's. That's not saying O-O. He keeps the subject. He gets a point. It's gentlemen prefer blondes. The 19 seconds starting now.
The volume was a bestseller and was later made into a play and then a musical, and it purported to show that the majority of the male sex...
Peter, you challenge.
A repetition of show. It purported to show, he said, and
Yeah,
it was
he
a
said
show
in the
earlier
bit
on,
before.
he said.
It's
not
that
I,
counts,
he.
doesn't it?
Oh, yes, you said it.
Yeah, you said it the time before the challenge, so I suppose you're right. It's repetition.
You mean suppose I'm right?
Peter, you get the subject. Gentlemen prefer blondes. There's... What? Oh, the 10 seconds starting now.
You never hear this about men. You never see advertisements, I am looking for an attractive garage mechanic, whereas you do see the same things.
Oh, my goodness. Peter, Nicholas, and Clement are all equal, and Kenneth is equally behind. So, we go into the next round. Nicholas, it's your subject.
Oh, God.
Can you speak for 60 seconds on the subject Parsons? Starting now.
Parsons is, of course, my family name. I was given it because my father married my mother, and from that wedlock I arrived. It is, of course, clergyman as well, and...
Clement, you challenged.
Deviation. You don't arrive from wedlock.
How do you know?
Pretty ingenuous on this program. But it isn't wedlock that causes children to arrive.
Actually, I think Clement is pedantically correct, I'm afraid, and he gets the subject and a point. There are 50 seconds for Parsons, starting now.
Parsons are generically clergymen of any church, but specifically that of England, and they walk the paths and roads and rolling lanes, spreading goodwill and baptizing people who get in their way.
Nicholas, you joke.
No, you don't baptize people who get in your way. You wait till they bring you to church and ask the clergyman to baptize your child. Yes. And if he was pedantic before, I'm going to get a bit of pedanticism in now.
You be pedantic, and you get the subject, and you get a point, and there's 33 seconds for Parsons, starting now.
A lot of people think that if you have the name Parsons, it must mean that all your ancestors were clergymen way back. And if you say to me, how is this knowledge mine, I will say Parsons knows. But... Of course, it is also in the nose refers...
Peter.
Repetition of also.
Oh, no, you're not allowed also.
Rotten challenge.
What do you mean you're not allowed also?
Well, it's too little, isn't it?
Is it?
Yes, right. Nicholas, you keep the subject. There, and you get a point, and there's 15
Two
seconds
syllables.
for Parsons, starting now.
Of course, another thing is, I don't know what to say.
Clement
about this
Freud.
subject.
It's the fourth, of course.
Yes, I agree. I accept Clement's challenge. He gets a point. It was the 4th or 5th, of course, and of course he gets the subject, which is Parsons, with 9 seconds starting now.
When you get a flock of these ecclesiastical gentlemen massing around the font, it is probably time to warm the water.
Clement Freud was speaking when the whistle went, so he gets an extra point, and at the moment is in a fairly decisive lead with Nicholas just behind, Peter just behind him, and Kenneth trailing. It is now Kenneth's turn. Can you speak for just a minute on Dr. Spooner, starting now?
Well, of course, he was a member of the faculty of Oxford University and did become famous for a mispronunciation of certain words and expressions. One of the most famous was, of course, the kinkering kongs instead of the conquering kings. And on another occasion, he was supposed to have said to an undergraduate, "You have tasted 2 worms." Well, because he meant he wasted 2 terms. And he said, you can take the town drain to Oxford, you see, when he meant the down train, you see. It was things like that which made him very famous. He's gone into legend, of course, and one of the loveliest stories...
Nicholas,
Oh, shut up, I've never taken notice of him. One of the loveliest stories of all is this gentleman who's come back
Can you
from
just hold your stream
I
a
did
moment?
actually count 4, of courses.
I'm afraid that Nicholas gets the subject. He gets a point. He gets the subject. He won't want it. He'll give it you back in a minute. Dr. Spooner with 21 seconds starting now.
The Dr. Spooner I knew was a most engaging character, and he got this name because one day he took some celebrated people out to a huge restaurant, and there at this table, this huge dowager lady carrying all
Clement,
before her
you
in a
challenge?
low-cut dress.
Repetition of huge.
Yes, the word too huge.
It's a super story.
You get the subject. Dr. Spooner with 10 seconds starting now.
I had a general practitioner whose name really was Dr. Spooner, and his speciality was pediatrics. He treated children the way other people eat mice.
Once more, Clement Freud was talking when the whistle went, so he gets an extra point. And he and Nicholas are now neck and neck, with Peter just behind and Kenneth a little behind him. Clement Freud, it's now your turn. Can you speak for 60 seconds on how I feel about it all, starting now?
I usually begin by taking off the shirt, then the trousers and underpants. Thereafter, warming my hands, I feel about to see what sort of things I might come into contact with. Here a muscle, there a gland.
Nicholas, you
Hesitation.
I was absolutely riveted.
So was I.
No, you weren't. I see it in your face, but he was wasn't it a hesitation audience?
No, I really
Well,
don't.
put it to them.
No, no.
You weren't listening, you've omitted it.
I was listening, I was listening and I was riveted, and I would have been unriveted by a hesitation.
Yes.
So Clement, I think, keeps the subject and gets a point and has 39 seconds for how I feel about it all, starting now.
There's another way you could construe this subject, which is on a sort of, what you might call...
Nicholas.
Hesitation.
Yes, yes, there was a no. So you do get the subject that time. 32 seconds. How I feel about it all, starting now.
How I feel about it all is with my hands. This is a very attractive game. First of all, you are blindfolded, and then an object is pushed towards you, which you grip. And the one occasion when I had it, it was, of course, a wet sponge, and all the water seeped out onto the carpet. It ran in rivulets across the floor, and the children came down to run their boats in it.
Clement, challenged.
Deviation.
Why?
You can't have rivulets in a carpet.
You haven't seen our carpet.
Not rivulets.
You can't actually...
Little rivulets of water?
No, you have sort of awful, mushy, muggy, sploshy puddles.
Not if you live on a slope.
You have a cascade. You don't have rivulets.
No, because there was
I'm
only a
afraid
sponge
I agree. You can't have a rivulet on a carpet. And Clement Freud gets a point.
On a card.
Oh, isn't it lovely? Clement,
Women in trousers.
You have the subject, you have a point. How I feel about it all. 14 seconds starting now.
Many people think that all is politics, and how I feel about it all is the Liberal Party is really due for a sensational, fantastic, and heartwarming revival.
Nicholas challenged, but Ian Mester said it was a second too late, and Clement gets a point for speaking when the whistle went, and he has leapt into a decisive lead with Nicholas still, well, not all that far behind, Peter behind him, and Kenneth.
Oh, don't keep rubbing it in, then.
What's happening?
Honestly, rivulets of
Rotten
lead.
subject, I can't think of anything to say about it. What's the next one?
Now, dear Peter, it's Peter's subject.
No,
You get
we'll be
it
in.
quickly. Come on. Tea with Auntie. 60 seconds starting now.
Well, practically all my elderly aunts have passed on and gone somewhere else. But the BBC...
Kenneth challenged.
Hesitation, yes.
Oh, yes, of course.
Well, it was just to respect
Oh,
my
I said
pause, but I thought the deceased relative.
Shush,
I should really have given
challenged.
2
He
minutes
gets
silence.
the point, he gets the subject. He's got 51 seconds to keep going. Tea with Auntie starting now.
Well, I went to tea with Auntie, and she was lying there in the bed, and she said, I can't get up, she said, because I've got my locked hip cup on again. I said, oh, I am sorry to hear that. So she said she wanted to have these cakes. And they were very nice. They were those hot toasted tea cakes, and we put them on this primer stove, because that's all the eating she had, poor thing. I said to her, I wonder how you managed. She said, well, with these blankets over me.
Nicholas challenged again.
It's now 8, I said, and she says.
I want to know what's going
He
to
hasn't
happen.
said
No,
of
I want
course
to
at
know
all.
what he's on about. Kenneth, you keep going and get another point. You've got 25 seconds and you start now.
So I had one of these, and the butter ran down all my mouth. I felt awful. And I said, have you got anything I could wipe it on? And she said, use the blanket. Well, I did.
Peter challenged.
Repetition of blanket. He mentioned
You're a wet
blanket.
blanket, you are.
Mentioned blanket.
Yes, I think I'm afraid you did.
And there were 10 says as well, I
Yeah,
counted them.
Right. So Peter gets a point. He gets the subject. Tea with Auntie. 15 seconds starting now.
Think of Auntie as being the BBC, because that is the lovable euphemism.
Kenneth, you challenge.
Deviation. Auntie's not the BBC. You don't have tea with the BBC. What a load of rubbish. How do you even sit down and have tea with the BBC?
I seem to have touched a very sensitive nerve. What's the matter with him?
I agree with you, Peter.
You
David
do?
Hatch said to me, come and have tea with Auntie.
Exactly.
And I
did.
subject that.
Yes, I think he does.
Yes,
he gets
thank
it back.
you.
I want to know what
I get a point.
Proverbially,
too.
he put me in
BBC
the
is
lead.
referred to as Auntie.
Proverbially, Auntie's BBC.
I get a
Auntie
point. Do I
BBC.
get a point there?
Yes, he gets a point.
Good, yes.
He gets the
How many
subject. Tea with
subjects?
Auntie. He's only got 10 seconds to go, and he's starting now.
Yes, well, she was called Sally. Oh, it's a disgrace.
Nicholas challenge.
She said again, it's 11 says now.
I am not going to award a point against him for saying said. He can say it as many times as he likes, because I think it's one of those little words like does. So, he keeps the subject, he gets another point, he's got 9 seconds. Tea with Auntie starting now.
And then she said, what about some of these nice pancakes, you see? The honey dripping all over him. I said, well, I will get fat, I'll be quite
Nicholas.
obese.
Now, this one is a legitimate one. The butter dripped before, and now the honey is dripping.
He did, he's quite...
Yes. I
He
have
gets
to...
a point, he gets the subject. Tea with Auntie. He's got half a second starting now.
Auntie's a lovely woman.
Clement is still in the lead. Nicholas is 1 point behind him. Kenneth's in third place. And Peter's just a tiny bit behind. And that was the last subject. What was the last subject? That was the last subject. And, oh no, I've done all that. Right, unfortunately, this is the last of the present series. So, it's goodbye from me, Andree Melly, Clement Freud,
Goodbye from me, Clement Freud.
Kenneth Williams,
Bye.
Peter
Bye-bye.
Jones,
From me, yes, bye-bye.
and Nicholas Parsons.
Thank you very much indeed, ladies and gentlemen. As the ex-chairman of this programme who hopes to return, and we hope the programme will return, and we hope that you'll be listening when it does return, and we do hope that you've enjoyed this particular edition, the last in this present series of Just a Minute. Till we all meet again, goodbye.
You've been listening to Just a Minute. The program was devised by Ian Messiter and produced by David Hatch.
present Kenneth Williams, Clement Freud, Derek Nimmo, and Peter Jones in just a minute. And as the minute waltz fades away, here to tell you about it is our chairman, Nicholas Parsons.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Hello and welcome to Just a Minute. And as you've just heard, we have our 4 regular players of the game who are going to compete against each other as usual and try and speak for just a minute without hesitation, repetition or deviation. Now, in the last series, many weeks ago, we changed for fun the order. And this week we thought we would change the flavour a little. And as Kenneth Williams regularly criticises me for the decisions I make as chairman, we're going to ask him to sit in my seat and see how he does, and I'm nobody.
How do you do? Thank you very much indeed, and welcome to Just a Minute, chaired by the one and only, the brilliant, the incomparable Kenneth, put him on the mantelpiece, Williams. And we begin with Nicholas Parsons, and the subject is Miller. Will you speak for 60 seconds on Miller, starting now?
The Miller that comes to my mind is a fellow called Andree Melly, who I met on Clydebank when I went up there at the beginning of the war to begin an apprenticeship as an engineer.
Question, which war?
The Boer War.
Well, you said it.
Look here, that wasn't a proper challenge. That wasn't a proper challenge, so Nicholas gets a point. Will you put a point down? And will you continue with the subject? You have 40 seconds. Will you continue with the subject of Miller for 40 seconds starting now?
This fellow Miller was a pure Glaswegian from Clydebank, and when I arrived he said,
What's the challenge now?
Repetition of Clydebank. We had Clydebank said twice, Mr. Chairman.
Oh, I'm afraid you did say it before, Nicholas.
I know, that's because he interrupted me.
45 seconds remain?
45.
45 seconds remains for you on Miller, starting now.
Joe Miller raped the wit's bargain maker.
What's the challenge?
Hesitation.
Hesitation, I'm afraid that was so. You get the subject back. Little less than 45 seconds on Miller, starting now.
Miller said to me, I'm going to come up here. I said, right for you. You coming down the south. I'm not got pride. I've got a me yourself. I've got a way with in Scotland. They said, you're a assassin, not a pride to kind of money. I know yees, but yees is in even from a party. And this is very well. Now, come on. I've got to bring, I've got the doors horns. I got the horns. If you're not getting them there, you're not going to feel them behind you. And that's what saying I'm bringing to the preacher. She's going to burn you. And that's why you can understand what I'm talking about.
There's been a challenge from Derek. What was your challenge?
A repetition of arc.
Yes, well, I can't allow arc because, after all, it was such a peculiarly involved dialect that I couldn't single out anything wrong there. So you have 20 seconds on the subject of Miller, starting now.
Miller is also the name of the man who grinds corn with those huge circular stones. It can be done in different ways as well.
Who's the challenge now?
Me.
What are you challenging on?
Hesitation.
Hesitation?
Yes.
Did you hesitate, Nicholas?
Yes.
Oh, you did? Very well. What's your question about that?
I want to show how generous and magnanimous I can be in spite of the way he treated me when he was the chairman of Just a Minute a long time ago.
Your behavior is most commendable. There's no question of that. It's very commendable. So the subject goes to Clement Freud, Miller, starting now.
I would like to say the Miller, to whom Nicholas Parsons was apprenticing Clydebank, has much to answer for. If ever a man had an opportunity of doing away with someone who has been a great bane in our lives.
Yes, so who's winning? Oh, nobody's winning. No, the two in the lead are Nicholas and Clement. And the next subject is yours, Clement. Fun with snails, starting now.
If you want to have fun with snails, you need quite a lot of time in which to enjoy them. You ask a snail to climb up a lamppost and then go out for breakfast, lunch, dinner and tea. And by the time you return, there's every hope that the illumination which I mentioned before and can therefore not say again will have been reached and climbed, at the top of which the snail...
I'm regretting this. He said climb before.
No,
and
he
then
said
climbed.
climbed.
Yes, it was climbed this
yes,
time
no, he
and
didn't.
climbed
Why are you
before.
challenging that? It's silly. You're simply interrupting him, and
No.
he's doing so well. Go on, Clement, you continue with fun with snails as from now.
Maybe the greatest fun can be had by eating them, quite simply, sticking them in the oven with a lot of garlic and butter and parsley, and then getting a silver dish which could also be made of aluminium or other metals.
Who's challenged now? This is Peter Jones. Why are you challenged?
Because you can't have a silver dish which is also made
Which
of
can
aluminium and
also.
other metals. It wouldn't be a silver dish if it was.
The handles, he's pointed out, could be made of it. The handles. And
The handle's made of what?
He knows what he's talking about. The man is a culinary expert, you great nana. Oh, stick. You continue with the subject.
But what was he talking about?
The subject of fun with snails starting now.
Escargots sont pleins d'humeur is the way the French would term fun with snails. Schnecken is the German expression for the word, and not very nice they are when you get them in Berlin, especially in Potsdam, where restaurants take great pride in serving you these foul, rubbery, chewing gum-like insects.
Yes, that
a
was put
snail
Clement
isn't an
Freud with those
insect.
number of points commandingly in the lead, and the next subject goes to Peter Jones, and you must talk on the Blarney Stone for 60 seconds, starting now.
Well, last year I happened to be in Ireland and I visited Cork, and some friends took me out to Blarney, which is a small town not very far away. Very disappointing, I thought. I didn't actually get to see the stone itself, which is the centerpiece, really, I suppose, of this place. It's a sort of magnet for all the people around, visitors, tourists and whatnot. But it's full of rather boring shops with Donegal tweed and Waterford glass and things of that kind, Irish honey, whiskey and so forth.
Where's the church?
I don't think there's anything boring about Waterford glass and Irish whiskey. I think they're very exciting and exotic things.
That may well be your opinion, but Peter Jones has another opinion and is entitled to express it. Wait, you continue with the subject. You may find it boring, you may find it diverting, but you continue with the subject. You have just over 30 seconds for the Blarney Stone, starting now.
I was very disappointed because the main object of
Okay,
going
Mr.
there...
Anderson, come from Derek, I'm afraid.
Repetition, sir, of disappointed, sir.
Did you say disappointed?
No, of course I
He
didn't.
was very disappointed when he saw the tower. Now he's very disappointed again just then.
Oh, well, I'm afraid, Peter, that's fair enough. Yes, well, you have 25 seconds, Derek, for the Blarney Stone, starting now.
The Blarney Stone in Blarney Castle is, in fact, some 40 feet from the ground, and to actually kiss it, which was what you're supposed to do, needs to be quite athletic.
A lot of buzzes there. It seemed to come from Clement Freud. I think Clement Freud was the first.
Hesitation.
Hesitation, yes, I'm afraid so. You have the subject. You will speak for 15 seconds on the Blarney Stone, starting now.
I've never quite understood why people wanted to kiss the Blarney Stone. They could hug it, they could take it out for tea.
Nicholas?
I don't think you could take the Blarney Stone out for tea. I don't think you could move it, and you certainly wouldn't enjoy the tea if you took it.
Yes, I think that's deviation.
Oh, what a marvellous chairman.
Yes, I think it's
Isn't he
deviation.
a
So you
wonderful
have-
chairman? Oh,
you have 12
lack a
seconds.
day.
You have 12 seconds on the Blarney Stone, starting now.
Well, I remember when I was last in Ireland, they said you must kiss the Blarney Stone because all of us over here, we just know how to talk about it. That's the whole thing. If you've been over there to Cork and you've been down there, put your head under the thing. That's the thing.
Yes, well, some marks were achieved there, but I'm afraid Clement Freud still has a commanding lead. The subject now goes to Derek, calculators. Will you speak on that subject for 60 seconds? Calculators, starting now.
Well, I have a calculator, and I find it extraordinarily useful how you can persuade children to learn mathematics at school today when they can find all the answers they require, or nearly all they want, on one of these little machines. Because all you do is press a little button.
Yes, Clement Freud was
For alls.
All. There was
Yes.
to alls, yes. You have the subject calculators.
Is it-
45
does
seconds,
that mean
starting
does that mean it's a
now.
draw?
I am almost unique in having bought a calculator when it first came on the market at £75. And over the years it has become cheaper and ever less expensive until you may now pay something like 87p and get something which may not work very well, but my goodness, it is cheap. And I do...
A challenge from Nick, yes? Nick?
I thought he packed in then.
Yes, I agree. You have 25 seconds for calculators, starting now.
I understand that children can now take these into their examination classes.
Oh, a challenge from Clement.
You understand wrongly.
Oh, no, because my child has done it. And they've been...
No, your child is a cheat. And I'm not surprised.
Your child is also too old to go to school.
He
I know
goes to
them.
college. He goes to college.
I know them both.
He was conceived during the Boer War.
The gestation period of the Parsons is long.
It doesn't matter if I'm on the panel or in the chair. They all have a go at me, don't they?
Yes, I think
People are walking out.
I think the challenge. I'm afraid.
Some are running.
Are you definitely? Have you definite knowledge about these things not being allowed at examination periods, Clement? I mean, have you real knowledge about this?
It depends on the examination.
I see. Then it's not a rule. There is not a general rule.
There's no general.
Then
rule.
your
If you're being
challenge does not
examined
work,
for
and
rheumatism,
the-
naturally you're supposed to have a calculator.
Will you please not interrupt a very distinguished chairman? Please.
When's he
now
arriving?
We have 15 seconds. 15 seconds for you on calculator starting now.
And now, if you calculate who are the most important cult figures of our time, the first one who comes to mind is undoubtedly Kenneth Williams, our chairman this week, taken over my role. But to get back to the subject of children...
The subject is not children. You should get back to the subject
of children and calculators in schools, which is what I was talking
Not what you
about.
said. Not what you said. You're lying.
No, you can get back to the... You can get back to the subject, you see, that he was on before. It doesn't necessarily have to be the subject on the card if it was in the course of his discourse.
He was talking about
that. You now have 5 seconds on calculator starting now.
I think that...
Hesitation.
Hesitation. Did you hesitate, Nicholas?
No!
Oh, you didn't. Very well, then you have 4 seconds for calculator starting now.
Calculator should not...
Who is that challenging?
Hesitation.
Hesitation. Did you hesitate?
No!
Oh, well, I don't believe it then. Now you have 3 seconds on calculator starting now.
Calculators...
hesitation.
There must be something in it if everybody thinks...
Yes, we can hear. I think the trouble is that you're a big cult.
You have 2 seconds for calculator starting now.
Calculators are those little machines which you press the buttons.
Take no notice. Continue with the
deviation.
subject. Yes?
Calculators.
There was a lot of mischief making then from the panel, and I don't want any more of it. Very, very, very naughty. And now the next subject. Yes, oh, I see. Nicholas has leapt into the lead. Oh, it's outrageous, isn't it? Got about 11 points. It's disgraceful. Nicholas, it's your subject, the Garden of Eden. 60 seconds starting now.
The Garden of Eden appears in the second...
Derek.
Mr. Chairman, why is he not speaking with a funny voice?
Derek, I must warn you, I'm in charge here. I will not allow this kind of levity.
Oh, sorry.
It's a disgrace.
Sorry, Mr. Chairman, I retract.
Now, you have 50 seconds, 55 seconds for the subject, the Garden of Eden, starting now.
The second book of Genesis refers to the Garden of Eden.
Clement Freud.
There isn't a second book of Genesis.
I see. What book is it?
The first book of is a book of Genesis.
I see. That is fair enough. Therefore, you have 55 seconds for the subject, the Garden of Eden, starting now.
Brillat-Savarin, who was a great French writer and philosopher, said, "O children of Eden, who gave it all up for an apple, what might they not have done for partridge stuffed with prunes macerated in brandy?" And I think I'll probably
a challenge
stop
from
there.
Nicholas. Why did you challenge?
Well, he stopped, actually. After
Yes, but he was provoked, you see. They were the pair of them on that side. I watched them. They were laughing and banging the table like a pair of
laughing or banging
naughty
the table.
schoolboys.
You weren't
I see
banging
better
the
behaviour
table.
in the 6th. It's disgrace. And you continue with the subject, Clement, starting now.
It was an absolutely terrific place, and there were 2 people who I think were called Adam and later Eve, conceived by someone whose name escapes me, and they had an enormously enjoyable time, first of all getting to know each other, and later going out into the world and begatting a substantial number of people.
Yes, that's
I
Nicholas.
don't think they begat a substantial number. I think it was just Cain and Abel. That's all that's recorded. I agreed. I've made a
Yes,
mistake.
but I mean, he
about
didn't
it.
mean they did it themselves. He mean that they were the source for masses of begetting.
He didn't
That's what
say
meant.
that.
And I'm
He
sure that's what he
didn't
meant.
say
He's nodding
that.
in agreement.
Begat means-
And he keeps the subject.
They
He's
said
got
they
first
enjoyed
seconds
themselves,
on
and it was the
subject
enjoyment of
Garden
their
Eden,
begatting that produced
and
Cain
he
and Abel.
starts now.
On the subject of begatting, which happened in the Garden of Eden, the Parsons family also went in for that sort of thing.
Nicholas?
Well, I haven't been in the Garden of Eden, and it was Derek's and Abby's during the Boer War. I did my begatting. And,
So it's devious, then.
it's absolutely devious.
Right, you have the subject. Then 5 seconds on the subject of the Garden of Eden, starting now.
Why they gave this subject to me, I suppose, is because they think it's a Parsons one. And,
Very good. Very good indeed.
Yes, I'm afraid your faces will all drop when I tell you that Nicholas Parsons is so much in the lead that not many of you have much of a chance. The next subject goes to Clement Freud. Will you speak for 6 seconds on the world's greatest picture, starting now?
The world's greatest picture is quite undoubtedly in the eyes of the beholder, and Kenneth Williams asked that self-same question, would presumably say it is a cult figure in Great Portland Street, known as Kenneth Williams, age 6...
Yes, what is your challenge, Derek?
Repetition of Kenneth Williams.
Yes, I'm afraid so. The subject goes to Derek. You have 45 seconds on the world's greatest picture, starting now.
The world's greatest picture, for me, is without doubt E.T. Who has not been beguiled by that wonderful little monster? Gosh, it's fun, isn't it? Did you see him come down from the spaceship, get out, wander through the trees, and everybody's looking for him, man with keys hanging down his back, and there is this great picture.
Yes, I'm sorry. That was the challenge from Clement. What's your challenge?
Hesitation.
Hesitation? Oh, did you hesitate? Well, as they say, he will hesitate. It's lost, and you were lost there. So the subject goes to Clement. You have 25 seconds for the world's greatest picture, starting now.
A Star is Born is a picture which I was incredibly fond of, especially as it was made 3 times. The first time was Janet's Gate.
Yes, Nicholas.
3 times the first time.
Oh, yes,
one is singular, one is plural.
Yes,
Times
except
and
for-
times.
Yes.
Look, I haven't come all the way here from Great Portland Street to be insulted like this. I'm sitting in Kenneth Williams' chair playing this game.
Yes, that's all right. There's no need to remonstrate in that fashion. You have the subject, Nicholas, and you have 16 seconds on the world's greatest picture, starting now.
The world's greatest picture, as Clement Freud said, is in the eye of the beholder. To me, it must be the one that my little daughter did when she was 4 years of age, and I now have it framed in my office, and I look at it frequently. It depicts...
Challenge from Derek.
His daughter's, he said his little daughter, she's a great big lump.
I will not have this provocation. It's outrageous. It's outrageous. I mean, you wouldn't hear me coming out with a remark like that. It's disgraceful.
He's rude about every member of my family.
I will have people properly behaved. I believe in people behaving properly. I'm all for that. Yes, you know what I mean. So you keep the subject. You have 6 seconds for the world's greatest picture, starting now.
This picture has a little child on the edge.
Yes,
You get
Clement Freud.
when you...
Repetition of little.
Yes, I'm afraid so. You have the subject. 4 seconds on the world's greatest picture, starting now.
Oh, I think...
Oh, yes. Yes, Peter, you're quite right. You have the subject. You have 3 seconds on the world's greatest picture, starting now.
Well, The Last Supper in Milan.
Repetition of well. He always starts with well.
Rubbish. He hasn't spoken. I haven't spoken before.
So, but if he had, he still started with well.
Ah, well, I get an extra point, Mr. Chairman.
Cannot have a game on assumptions, Derek. He certainly gets a point. He gets a point for that. A wrong challenge. And you've half a second on the world's greatest picture, starting now.
Closed on Monday.
Okay, so indeed. At the end of that round, Nicholas has increased his lead. He's at 17 points, closely followed by Clement Freud. And the next subject goes to Peter Jones, a good rebus, starting now.
Isn't that a kind of hieroglyphics game, like to be or whatever it is, Shakespeare, the way he had it, you know, the way it went? I don't want to repeat the first...
Yes, question of Derek's challenge.
You repeated the way.
Yes, I'm afraid so. You have the subject of the good rebus, starting now.
In the heraldic sense, a good rebus is a joke which is contained upon one's escutcheon.
Challenge from Nick.
I thought that was hesitation.
I'm afraid so. You have 45 seconds for a good rebus, starting now.
When I was in France last, this man came up with a good rebus. He says, "On chante bibi son comme la voix. En chante bibi en rebus, ça patron, j'en ça remble, oui. Alors, père, on te biche, on se perd, on est plein, on chante plein voix. Après, quand c'est la paix, on est plein, on chante plein, on chante plein. On a peur, on est plein voix. Perdu, je dois vivre, on va se te faire, je te conduis, on te fait, on est grand voix.
There's been a challenge from Derek.
Why is Nicholas Parsons continually allowed to audition? We come here and play the game. He comes here and audition.
You could only challenge for deviation or repetition.
And, well, repetition...
Yes, that was proven. You're quite right. And so you have 32 seconds on a good rebus, starting now.
A good rebus is something which we all like to read, isn't it? Because one picks it up and glances down on the page, and there you say, my goodness, a good... What's the matter now?
Nicholas, why is the challenge?
I don't like to read it.
No, it's not you. He's discussing himself.
He said we all like to read it. I don't.
Well, he
You've
said
got
one.
half a second for the
Well,
rebus,
I'm not
starting
one.
now.
Shunting engine.
Very good indeed. I'm afraid that round has ensured a much greater lead for Derek, but it's still nowhere near Nicholas's. It's still very much a commanding lead. The next subject goes to Derek. Old ladies who help me across the road. Extraordinary subject.
Do you mean, when you say me, Mr. Chairman, do
Still
you
will
mean
accept-
yourself?
Are you...
When you say...
What you say?
When you say me, do you mean yourself? You say, you want Derek to talk about these old ladies who helped me across the road.
It's written down here as old ladies.
Yes, I want you to interpret it
help
for
me
me.
Cross the road.
I want you to
it's written
interpret
down here.
it
I
for
can't
me.
think about it. I'm not in
Please.
charge of the cards.
You can't explain then whether it is or not. I don't want Nicholas to get this because he'll just give us his widow Twanky. I want to find out whether you mean me, yourself, or Derek.
I see your point. I'm afraid it evaded me before, but now it has all become crystal clear. Yes. Well,
for that, he's got his contact lenses in again.
I think you'll assume that it is me in a general sense for anyone that takes the subject. So,
right, thank
old
you very
ladies who help me across the road, Derek starting now.
One of the sweetest old ladies that ever helped me across a road was called Denise Breyer. She is a most charming, handsome old lady, and...
Question.
Well, I have to challenge, don't
Yes,
I?
go on.
Because Denise Breyer is not an old lady.
I agree with you. We'll get the
She must
subject.
be. She's married
and
to you.
You have 50 seconds on old ladies who help me across the road starting now.
The nicest old lady who ever helped me across the road was Mrs. Kettle. It was in the village of Swayfield near Grantham where I was born. And she was...
challenge from Derek?
That's not how they speak in Grantham. They have a very distinct Lincolnshire accent.
Yes, well, he'll get to that later on.
Oh, will he?
So you get 45 seconds for old lady to help me across the road starting now.
She had to be very careful because there were a lot of penny farthings and horse and carts on the road at a time.
Another challenge from Clement.
What's a hort and cart?
It's, you mean your challenge is what, deviation?
Deviation.
Yes.
In Lincolnshire, they call them horts and carts. And they call them horts and carts in Lincolnshire.
Old lady to help me across the road starting now.
My very favourite old lady who helped me across the road said, as long as you don't know Nicholas Parsons, I shall be very pleased to take your arm and escort you to the other side of the pavement. And I said that would be an enormous pleasure to me, especially as I was blind at the time. And so she gripped me, oddly enough, by the thigh, because I can't mention the other part of the body by which she held me previously, and avoided an awful lot of oncoming bicycles, motor cars, trucks, buses, and a tram which had come from a museum and was going on to a road show in a neighbouring village. When we reached...
Derek, why was challenge?
A tram wouldn't go to a road show, it'd go to a rail show.
No.
I can quite conceive of a tram going to a road show, so keep going. You have 1 second on old ladies who help me across the road, starting now.
Agatha Palmer.
Very good indeed. He's done nothing to stop the commanding lead enjoyed by Nicholas Parsons. The rest are all trailing horribly, and it's his turn to speak next. You speak for 60 seconds on the subject of power, starting now.
Power to your elbow, a thing that Kenneth Williams often says, more power to this part of your anatomy. Power of the voice, power of speech, the authority that expressed in the power and the presence of a personality. If you produce this part of your vocal cords in the correct manner, you can reach the back of an auditorium. Right now, I am using my diaphragm here and sending the wind up, and it's vibrating against the soft palate, and it's coming out here forward through my teeth, and the power that is generated there is going forth to enrouse this audience up to say, Parsons is the man with power. Here's another man with power sitting beside me. He exercises that in another house. And over there...
Peter, what is man? Man, yes, you have a subject then.
Well, he's
power,
not a woman,
and 20 seconds starting now.
Well, it can also mean the power that you switch on, which provides...
Challenge from Derek, yes?
I just wanted to notice that he'd said well again. It's nice. I like sort of continuity on it.
Beautifully noted, but you get no points whatsoever. And the subject continues with Peter Jones, 16 seconds on power, starting now.
Without it, you wouldn't be able to operate your hairdryer.
Who's challenging now? Clement, what is it?
He didn't say well again. Deviation.
Yes. You get a point for a written challenge. You are amusing. And now you speak subject of power, starting now.
Or your electric massager, which I know you use regularly before you leave the house, and to which you owe a great deal of your wonderful complexion, because it opens the pores and the power that is generated.
Well, many thanks. Many thanks to Peter Jones for finishing in such style at the end of Just a Minute, because we have come to the end of being able to play Just a Minute. The scores were as follows. Derek and Peter more or less in the lead. Clement very, very well with 90 points, but miles ahead of everyone else. Your winner this week, Nicholas Parsons.
Thank you. And I would like to say that I feel I owe it all to the warmth
Yeah, don't
and
knock it,
generosity
don't knock
and
it.
the wonderful...
Don't knock it. You've done well, don't knock it. And thank you very much. We hope you've enjoyed this in Just a Minute, and that you'll join us again next week when Just a Minute takes to the air once again.
The chairman of Just a Minute was Kenneth Williams. The programme was devised by Ian Messiter and produced by Pete Atkin.